Okay, what's going on, everybody? What is up? What's up? What's up? How you doing? How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Hello. All right, everyone. Hello and welcome. How's everyone? Hopefully you're good. I'm good. Welcome to today's first of 2 gameplay streams. Today is a full day of gameplay streaming, remember. Oh, excuse me. I woke up today a little bit congested, so I'm hoping to clear up a little bit as the stream progresses. Typically, this is actually what happens. Usually, I'm a little congested, and then if I start talking, after, the course of an hour or two, usually I clear up a little bit, which is good. So anyway, welcome, everyone. It is Monday, February 19th, 2018, and I am DSP. Welcome, 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 my friends. How are you today? Hopefully you're good. A full day of gameplay for you today. A variety of gameplay for you today that I hope you guys are excited for. Hold on. Now that I'm actually thinking about it, before I even start, I'm going to go turn down my speakers so that way they're not on later on when I actually start with gameplay. Hold on a second. Let me go turn those down. There we go. Okay, everybody. So, what is on the agenda? What is on the docket for today? Well, we've got a fun full stream of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for you. That should be pretty exciting. I'm excited for that. More San Andreas after having a day away here. And hopefully today's stream will be unimpeded. Unlike on Saturday when I was intending to do a 4+ hour stream and then poof, my power went out because of a windstorm. The good news is we don't have a windstorm today. Actually, it's bright sunny outside today for a change. Although our temperatures here have actually dropped by about 10-15 degrees and we are at near freezing temperatures outside. We have no precipitation and no wind conditions, so we should be good to go today for a fun Grand Theft Auto San Andreas stream. If you are not caught up on the playthrough, last stream I basically was able to beat a lot of the more difficult stuff early on in the game, including the wrong side of the tracks mission and some of the OG Loke stuff. So at this point, I believe all we've got left, I think there's a sweet mission, I think that there is a 10-penny mission, and I don't even remember if there's a Caesar mission at this point or not. I think there's only like 2 missions available. And I'm close. I believe if I do like maybe 5 more missions, I should be moving on to the next leg of the story of San Andreas, which is good. So that'll be fun. A location change and some different stuff going on in the game. So I'm excited. I hope you guys have been liking the playthrough so far. Certainly. All right, folks. Later tonight, it's the big return of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Yes. I know you've all been eagerly awaiting the return of PUBG. Over a week it's been since I last played it. Can you guys believe it? PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Can you believe it? I don't know if you can believe it or not, but the longest I've been away from playing the game since it launched. I'll be playing it tonight on second stream. I know you guys eagerly are awaiting this. With bated breath, you've been waiting and waiting and waiting. So, that'll be tonight. Another, 2.5 hours of that later tonight. We'll see how that goes. Tomorrow will be another full streaming day with more San Andreas, and tomorrow night I will be doing more Secret of Mana, which sadly I have not had a chance to play since Friday. I was supposed to play it on Saturday, but because of my power outage, it screwed with my schedule, and so I was not able to play it. So that will return on tomorrow night, Tuesday night. Wednesday is my day off, folks, and this is the big change to my schedule now that, my girlfriend Kat is living with me, is that once a week we're going to take one day off to do a bunch of stuff. So we're going to be running errands, but we're also going to be doing fun stuff, together, having a nice romantic dinner somewhere. So, no streaming on Wednesday. None. Zero. Zippo. Nada. Zilch. Okay? Nothing. But then I will be back on Thursday with the return of my Q&A show, Ask the King, which I do every other month. Ladies and gentlemen, we need way more questions. I looked on the forums last night, and no lie, we only had 12 questions for Ask the King. Now listen, folks, I'm not stupid. There's people who have questions. I mean, my girlfriend just moved in with me. I have life changes going on here. People have a lot of questions. It's just that I haven't mentioned Ask the King in so long that people didn't realize that the show was coming up this week, okay? So please, head over to thekingofhate.com, all right? And please post up your questions for Ask the King, all right? We need more questions, all right? If you have any questions about the security of the website, there are none. The security of the website is 100% secure. Literally no information whatsoever ever leaked from thekingofhate.com at all. So I know some people were like, oh, but last month there was a doxing threat. Yeah, and it had nothing to do with the website at all. It literally had nothing to do with thekingofhate.com. I mean, let's face it. Why do you think that, so the people that were selected for doxing in the 3 days that it happened, one of them was a person who never watches my videos or streams. One of them was a person who hasn't watched my videos or streams in 2 years. Why? Because they were just basically fishing for information all over the internet, and it had nothing to do with information from thekingofhate.com whatsoever. Don't think that just because there was stupid shit going on last month with a bunch of nudniks who literally made shit up, that it has anything to do with my website. It doesn't, okay? We've already confirmed 100% no one had any unauthorized access to the site, and no information that you put up there is at risk, okay? So please, post up your question and or questions for Ask the King. Now. Do it now. We have until Thursday, so you got 3 days to get your questions posted up, okay? So, what else? And then Thursday night, more than likely I'll do more PUBG, which means Friday more San Andreas. This weekend coming up, I'm going to do another session of Multiplayer Madness, Super Salty Saturday, Multiplayer Madness. Meaning, Call of Duty World War II and Star Wars Battlefront 2 will make a return on stream this Saturday. I did this 2 weeks ago and people really liked it. I did it right before my time off, and people were like, wow, this was refreshing, and Phil actually did really well in the games. So that being said, it was pretty good. And so I want to bring it back this Saturday. And if you're not aware, Star Wars Battlefront 2 this week is actually getting a big content update. New stuff is getting new skins for heroes, as well as a big jetpack mode. Apparently everyone gets a jetpack. You gets to like hover around and try to snipe each other from midair. Seems like kind of a gimmicky mode, but at least there's something new and free. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. So all that being said, it should be pretty fun to check out Star Wars Battlefront 2 this weekend with new content. Of course, Call of Duty World War II, always hilarious fun. So it should be a fun Saturday coming up. So a fun week, you know. Just think about it. The continuation of San Andreas, PUBG a couple times at least, more Secret of Mana, my podcast returns, and then a fun multiplayer day at the end of the week. Pretty fun, right? Of course, next week I have to work on my taxes, which is going to suck. And it is what it is. There may be a couple days next week where I don't get to do double streams because I have to work on my taxes. It is what it is. It happens every year. But for the end of February, what I'm thinking is the final day. So February 28th, I'm thinking of doing a big event. We're similar to what I kind of did at the end of December. We do a month-end drive where basically we try to get the subscribers up. Because as you guys know, we've been doing a big push to try to get back to 550 subs. If we do hit 550 subs this month, I'm going to be starting up a cooking show with my girlfriend, Kat. But we need to have people, you know, motivated to sub. And the good news is, every stream that I've done, you know, we get subs on subs, lots of subs. It's pretty good. Okay. So that being said, I think doing like a specialty stream at the very end of the month, you know, to try to get subs boosted and everything, could work out well. I do think that could be pretty good. It seems like whenever I do a stream when it has those goals on the top of the screen, you know, like a goal for subs or whatever, people really get motivated to contribute. And the thing is, I've been doing a lot of narrative-based games recently, so I really haven't had any kind of stats counter or whatever on the screen, so people don't really get that motivation, right? So, you know, doing some more multiplayer stuff this weekend, maybe doing, like I said, a month-end special event this month may be just the ticket, okay? So, let's see how it goes, all right? Let's see how it goes. Okay. So outside of all of that, folks, I do have one quick thing I want to address. Very quick, all right? Not going to go into massive detail here, but it's very simple. Yesterday, I basically played my final session of Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now, I didn't go into it with the intent that this would have been my final session of Dragon Ball FighterZ, all right? But the whole idea here was that I wanted to go back, and I wanted to actually see if I went back to this game, what would happen? Would it be good? Did they fix the netcode? You know what I mean? Has it been improved? Or are we still back to, you know, where we were? Sorry, I'm messing around with my PS4 here because my controller turned off. I'll put it down now so it stops making noise. So did they improve the netcode? You know, are the matches more stable and reliable, or do they keep taking forever to find a match? Does it take, you know, is it annoying where every third match you drop from the server like it was? What was the deal? Sadly, I hate to report, it's exactly the same as it was, you know, over 2 weeks ago. It didn't improve at all. All that happened is that there's less of a player base now because a lot of the people who were casual players who bought the game at launch stopped playing it. But it still took forever to find matches. The matches still dropped, and the matches were still laggy. And, you know, that's terrible. A month into the launch of a fighting game, the online experience hasn't improved one singular bit. That's really sad. And the sad fact here is actually that Bandai, literally on the week of launch, promised everyone through social media that they were going to improve and fix the online experience. They haven't done it. They haven't patched the game. They haven't improved anything. If anything, what they're trying to do now is sell DLC. They have 2 DLC characters coming out, Broly and Bardock, which they're now starting to advertise. Like, wait a minute. A month ago, you publicly admitted that the netcode of your game is bad. And you said you were going to improve it and fix it. You did nothing to do that. And now you're going to try to sell us DLC already? Like, what gives? This is a pretty underhanded business practice. So, you know, after playing this game one more session yesterday and basically having a really negative experience with it because the game was not improved whatsoever, I said, that's it. I'm done. You know, I like the game. I do. I like the game. I like the game mechanics of the game. I wish that it was like back in the day 10 years ago when I had friends who lived near me who were into fighting games and we could all go over each other's houses and play offline. It's not like that anymore, you know. I moved across the country, and any opportunity that I get to play these fighting games is over the internet. And when the netcode of you know, Dragon Ball FighterZ is so bad that you cannot get a valid experience without dropping from the server, waiting forever for a match, and then having lag anyway, there's just no reason to ever play the game again. Okay, so that being said, I was pretty upset, and I said, I'm done. And I deleted the game again for my PS4, and I announced I'm never playing it again. This is very underhanded business practice of what they're doing, and that's it. Immediately, I got attacked all over social media that I suck at the game. The reason I don't like the game is because I'm bad at it. Even though, by the way, I won the vast majority of matches that I ever played in the game, but I'm apparently horrible at this game. The reason I hate the game is because I'm not good at it. No one else who streams the game is complaining. Everyone's just saying the game is amazing and the best fighting game ever. So obviously I'm the one at fault here. You know, it's either my equipment setup or the fact that I suck at the game. It couldn't possibly be that the game has faults that should be called out and that people should actually be up in arms about this game. Absolutely not, because everyone's kissing this game's ass, all right? So because of that, I'm in the wrong. So, I mean, attacked. No lie, dozens of people coming and slamming me on social media saying that it's me, okay? Now, keep in mind, folks, I don't doctor anything. When you watch my streams or you watch my videos on YouTube, you see literally 100% of what I'm playing. I don't cut anything out. I don't edit, all right? You're not seeing a very targeted montage trying to get a point across. You see exactly what I see. So if you've watched my sessions of Dragon Ball FighterZ, what you've seen is me sitting around with my thumb up my ass, waiting for matches for, lengths of 15 to 20 minutes sometimes to even get a ranked match, even though the servers are full. Okay? Then playing a match and drop from the server, disconnect from server, drop from the server. Or a match where it claims 2 milliseconds of delay. Yeah, a guy's doing a fucking super dash from full screen and I can't anti-air on reaction. Like, it's ludicrous. If you've actually watched my stuff and you have an iota of even intelligence when it comes to fighting games, you would see firsthand that everything that I've said and criticized about the game is true. I recorded it all and uploaded it all to the internet. It's all there. All the evidence is there, plain as day, okay? Now, some people would say, oh, well, it's your setup, it's your fault, your internet sucks or whatever. So I'm able to play every other multiplayer game, including Call of Duty World War II, PUBG, Star Wars Battlefront 2, and many other multiplayer games with no issue. Zero. I don't disconnect from server or ever drop. Yeah, there may be a lag spike here or there, and usually it has to do with the netcode of those games, but never do I just constantly disconnect. Never do I sit around for 20 minutes waiting for a match in any other game. Right? So all that being said, no, it's not my setup. It's not my internet. It's pretty apparent here. The fault is with the game. Now, folks, listen. I'm certainly not a person to understand or to not understand that people have differing experiences with the game. Okay? If there's people out there who they're playing Dragon Ball FighterZ and they're having a flawless experience. Every time they play, they instantly get fun matches with no lag. They never disconnect from server. So be it. That's great that there are people who are able to enjoy the game. All I know is I have the absolute best internet in my area. Business class, 280 megabytes, whatever the fuck it is per second upload or download. 30 megabits, millibits, megafucks, whatever it is per second upload. It's incredibly fast. I can download and upload incredibly lightning blazingly fast with no issue. I know I don't get packet drops, nothing. But for some reason, when I play Dragon Ball FighterZ, all these issues happen to me. That's not on me. That's on Bandai. That's on ArcSys. That's on the game developer. They fucked up. Okay? If whatever issue it is that's going on with their, their garbage, connections or whatever, that's them. That's not me. I didn't make the game, and I'm certainly not making it up. I have video evidence of what's been going on with me, all right? So if Maximilian plays the game and never has an issue, and such big fighting game streamer plays the game and never says anything negative and never has an issue, good on them. Apparently whatever code or netcode Bandai/ArcSys put into this game works for them and their specific hardware configuration, specific internet situation, whatever it is. It doesn't work for me. And so via my experience, the game sucks, and I have valid evidence to back up what I'm saying. Okay. So all that being said, sorry if you're a fanboy of a game and you just can't see past your fanboy blinders and all the hype surrounding the release of the game and everyone kissing the game's fucking ass saying it's the best fighting game ever. It's the hottest shit. You should be watching every stream. You should be watching every tournament, attending tournaments, hyping up the game crazy. The game sucks online. That's just the bottom line. And by the way, I'm not the only one saying it. It's just that all the big high-profile streamers aren't saying it. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, folks. Which I hate to tell you is becoming more and more and more commonplace now in the modern era where streamers are so big. What they're doing now a lot of the times is they're kissing the game's asses, especially if it's a game like a fighting game and if their niche is fighting games. Oh, I just cover fighting games primarily. That's my main focus and that's who my viewers come for. Obviously, if the hottest new fighting game, it's the only one out there, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite just got dropped by everyone. No one's playing it anymore. The whole game got dropped. No one cares about it anymore, right? And Street Fighter V Arcade Edition just dropped, but it's not the flashiest game. Let's face it, it's a more slower-paced game. If you're looking for a flashy, stylized video game to stream, Dragon Ball FighterZ is the way to go. Now, if this is your bread and butter, and this is something that you depend on daily to bring in entertainment and views and attention to your content, and to get viewership and to get money, why would you say the game is not good online? You won't. You'll lie. You know, you'll say the game's good. You won't mention the fact that you just played a laggy-ass fucking match. Yeah, server drops will happen, and you'll just ignore it and won't call the game out for it. You see what I mean? It's a very different situation when you are 100% dependent on these games to carry you for months at a time. You know, this is exactly what happened back with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I knew within a week the game was garbage. I said the gameplay of this game is trash. It's really bad. I was top 100 in the game. I played it so much on launch week. I made top 100 on the PS4 version, which was the primary version everyone played. So it wasn't that I was terrible at the game and was making excuses because I was bad at it. I was good at it, and I hated it. I thought the gameplay mechanics were terrible. And I called the game out for this at launch week. But everyone ignored it, and everyone said the game was great, and they played it for 2 months until finally other games started to release, and they said, oh, now we can drop this. And people are just so gullible. They don't get it. They don't see that in the modern era, all right, people who are overly positive about these new releases are doing it for a reason, to hype the release. I mean, let's be honest, folks. Some people get paid to hype these games, you know. I'm not saying in particular that anyone did and or is getting paid to say only positive things about the game. But think about it. If these people were honest and during the launch of Dragon Ball FighterZ said, well, the game's great, but every time I play it online, I drop matches, then there's lag. You're not going to be motivated as much to go out and watch them play those games versus if they just keep their mouths shut about all the shortcomings of a game and they're not honest with you about how a game is, now you're going to keep coming to watch, right? And that's what it is. I'm not reliant on one particular game. If a game isn't good or a game has shortcomings, I can be honest with you and tell you. And I'm going to, because that's what I've always been. Since 2008, when I started on YouTube, that's who I've been, the honest guy. So, if you have an issue with 10 years of me being honest, and you know, you should have spoken up a long time ago. It's a little late for people now to try to speak up and say, oh, we don't appreciate Phil's honesty. Everyone else is kissing the game's ass. He's the only major streamer who's saying that the game isn't good online. Listen, so I'm the only guy who's honest. I have evidence of what I'm saying is true, but you're gonna troll me and criticize me and scream at me on social media and say that I'm in the wrong for being honest. No, it's time for you to wake up. Seriously, it's time for you to wake the fuck up and realize people who aren't being honest with you about the negative stuff about these games are doing it for a reason. They see that green. Every time they stream the game, big money rolls in. So why the fuck would they ever criticize the game? You're going to stop watching them play if they admit the game's not good. So obviously they're just going to let the green roll in. You know? But people are too gullible and too naive. In the modern gaming era, it's sad. It really is sad, in my opinion. How low things have gone, how people just buy into this hype of new releases. If a game's hype, it must be good. Even if it has shortcomings and problems, it's hype, so it's good. No, sorry. That's not how it really works. But too many people have fallen into this pit and this trap, in my opinion. Okay? So all that being said, folks, you know, I just feel like I wanted to talk a little bit about this today on pre-stream because it pisses me off that I'm being honest. I have evidence of what I'm saying to back it up. Factual, concrete evidence to support what I'm saying. Yet people still come out and say that I'm bad at the game. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. And I'm just, you know, I'm being dishonest. Get the fuck out of here. You know, ignorance is bliss, I guess, for some people. They just want to believe that everything's so fucking sparkles and rainbows and roses, and they don't want to be told the truth about anything. This seriously reminds me of back in the day, this was over 10 years ago, when one of the Cannon brothers, who, by the way, are the owners of Shoryuken.com, the people who run Evo, all right, created the GGPO netcode. This is this classic, now we know it as rollback netcode, but back then we didn't even know what rollback meant. We all hate it. We don't like rollback netcode. When you play a fighting game with rollback netcode and the game shows something on the screen, then takes it back and reverses back to a previous frame and shows that you got hit instead of you hitting the opponent. It's garbage. It's terrible netcode. We all hate it, and that's why a lot of modern fighting games don't use it, all right? But that being said, this GGPO netcode was being pushed by one of the Cannon brothers because he wanted to sell it to Capcom. So he had implemented it online with games like Super Turbo and other games. Now, I had played these games with the GGPO netcode, and I hated it. I said, man, this drops inputs. It rolls back. the game to a previous state, it's not good. This is not any better than what we already have for netcode. So yeah, there's no slowdown, but because there's no slowdown, instead you get illegitimate gameplay in a completely different way. So I was honest with factual evidence to back it up. I posted up on SureYouCan.com stating that this netcode was not the best. Everyone else was kissing its ass, much like Dragon Ball FighterZ. Everyone else was kissing its ass and saying it's the best netcode ever. Because basically they wanted to get into the favor with the Cannon Brothers and SRK staff, so they would have preferential treatment when it came to the forums, when it came to the website, and when it came to EVO and that tournament series. I was one of the few people to come out and be honest and say, no, this netcode is not good. It's just as bad as the other previous netcode. It just masks the lag in a different way, and it doesn't make it any better. It just makes it just as bad. I was banned from SureYouCan.com for talking about that. Banned. And when I went, and I actually went to one of the Cannon Brothers, I always forget which one it was who designed the netcode, but I went to him in a chat. It was actually MIRC chat. I went to him in a private message, and I said, now you know what I said was true. Okay? You know what I said was true. Yet, you're telling me that you're going to ban me from your website for speaking the truth in a thread where you wanted honest feedback about GGPO. And his response to me, no lie, was, listen, we're well aware that there's input drops, and we're well aware that our netcode isn't any better. It just masks the lag. But we're trying to sell this to Capcom, so you're being so honest in the thread makes us look bad. So fuck you. You're banned from our site because we want to make money. That's what I was told in a private message. I was like, well, now we see how the world works, right? And, you know, ever since then, I pretty much completely just didn't give a shit about these guys ever again. And like, when you get that kind of being treated like that, and you find out that's what it's all about, fine. So there you go. You know, gee, I wonder, you know, 15 years later, when a new fighting game comes out and the netcode's bad, but everyone's kissing the game's butt, gee, I wonder what's really happening here, you know. Sorry, but I'm not that ignorant. I'm not that gullible. I know exactly what's going on. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm now off the subject. I'm done. I'm not going to be talking about Dragon Ball FighterZ anymore. Simply because I'm done with it. I'm not going to waste my time with the game anymore. There's no point in wasting my time on the game because it's a broken mess online, and Bandai looks like they're not fixing it. It looks like they're more busy selling DLC characters than worrying about actually improving their game experience, which they promised they would almost a month ago, and they've done absolutely nothing to do. So I'm done. I'm done with the game. And everyone else could kiss the game's ass and say it's the best fighting game ever. I don't give a fuck. I have many more deserving games that I could spend my time with and have fun with you guys on stream with. I don't have to curtail to the fact that, oh, this is the only hot fighting game out right now and kiss its butt when the game is fucking garbage, okay? I don't. I'm not in that trap, and I don't have to sit here and, you know, and pretend like everything's good. And I'm not going to, okay? All right. All right, folks. So let's very quickly get into the plugs segment, and then I will give shout-outs for those of you who've been cheering, subbing, and tipping during the pre-stream, and then we'll get started with Grand Theft Auto. Sounds good? Okay. So I'm actually refreshing my Muxie right now because I'm going to need to do shout-outs and get all the updated data. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being supportive, and thank you for being here on stream. I hope you have a good time here today with my multiple gameplay sessions that I'll be doing. If you would like to go above and beyond just being a standard stream viewer, okay, and if you would like to be a little bit more than just, you know, someone who's watching and maybe contribute in another way, there's many ways you could do it to help me continue to be able to do this, you know, as a full-time job. The first is Patreon. If you check it out over at patreon.com/darksidephil, your monthly pledges to my Patreon help me with the cost of doing business. There's a lot of things that go into doing this that cost a lot of money, and your Patreon pledges help to defray that cost. However, unlike, you know, just sending a donation per se, your pledges earn you perks that give you unprecedented control and interaction over myself and my content. For example, you get text or verbal thank yous in my videos, okay? You can make, or you can nominate and vote on games for upcoming events. In fact, right now, the patrons are voting on what indie games will be played in the upcoming Indie Games Marathon, which will take place on Saturday, March 3rd. I now have a date for it set. Saturday, March 3rd will be the upcoming Indies Marathon, okay? Pretty cool. In addition to that, all right, you can get cool things like getting your questions answered on my Q&A show, Ask the King. Incidentally, that's coming up Thursday. So people who pledged over the last couple of months will be getting their questions answered for sure this coming Thursday. That's pretty cool. Or the highest level perk, a private Q&A video. You can get a private Q&A video made for yourself, which will, answer anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes of your personal questions. People like this Q&A perk so much. Some people have done it multiple times. In fact, I just made 2 new Q&A videos last night. Already I got feedback from one of the viewers saying they absolutely loved the video. So there you go. So, pretty good. And please check it out. All details can be found at patreon.com/darksidephil. Thanks to everyone who has supported me in the past and for everyone who's considering supporting me in the future. All right. Number 2. All right. Number 2. Teespring. My merchandise shop where you can get cool t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, all kinds of fun stuff. And anything you buy from my Teespring shop, I get a pretty sizable commission from, so it helps me out. You get a cool collectible. All right. If you do happen to buy something from my Teespring shop, first of all, thank you. Secondly, send me a picture on social media at They Call Me DSP on Twitter. I'd be more than happy to share that with my 25,000 Twitter followers. All right. And then, last but not least, folks, if you're here live on the stream and during the course of today's stream, you'd like to contribute in a way that you can get a shout out, well, then you can either cheer with bits, subscribe to the channel, or tip me. Okay. Any of those things. You'll get a verbal shout out during the stream. Cheering with bits is simple. You either buy the bits via, with your PC or mobile device, or you can earn them sometimes by watching ads here on Twitch. Some people are eligible to do that. Some are not. Subscribing is very simple. 3 levels of subscription, $5, $10, $25 a month. When you do that, you get access to all of my exclusive emotes. All right. Or tipping me. If you just like to maybe send a contribution via PayPal, you have the option to either do it anonymously or you can leave your name in a message. And you do that by looking below my stream. There's a section there. You know how there's the grid with all the information, like links to my websites and other channels and the like. There's one for tips. If you click on the picture of me posing with Pokemon, it'll take you to my tips page where you can choose if you want to do the anonymous or, leave me a message. So any of those things during the course of today's stream, you will get a shout out as long as it's not a troll message or something completely off topic. It adds to the interactivity of the stream. It makes it a lot of fun. Now, if you cheer 50 bits or more, if you subscribe to the channel and click the share button, or if you tip me $5 or more, you'll actually get an on-screen pop-up notification, thank you, so you get both visual and verbal recognition. And the cool thing right now is that there's new animations. We got a new bits animation, cheer animation from Popsicolo. The subscriber animation is an older one from Dr. Zombius that actually I just brought back because it's more refreshing to see this one because we barely saw it before. So they're all the pop-up notifications have been refreshed. All right. So it's pretty cool. I think things will be, fun and more refreshing now that we've got the better animations. One final thing, folks, before we get started. Again, we are making a push for subscribers for this month. Again, it very much appreciate it if you do subscribe. Getting access to all the exclusive emotes. If we hit 550 subs, I'll be doing a cooking show with my girlfriend. So this is something people have wanted to see for 7+ years. All right. Hopefully, we can motivate people now in the final, 9 days of the month to subscribe. Now that I'm back full time, I think that it'll be a lot easier than, when I was away and we lost some 30 subs, to me not being here for 4 days. So, all right. That is about it. I think we've covered everything. It's time for shout-outs. Let's do some shout-outs for those who have cheered, subbed, and tipped here on the pre-stream. So first of all, a couple people actually contributed overnight, which is very much appreciated. We had Infinite55 who did a 100-bit cheer. And then we had Critical for Days who did a 25-bit cheer and said, "You are right about what you said about Dragon Ball FighterZ. Sad that there are people who won't believe you because of slander." No, it's true. There's people, honestly, in this case, I don't even think that it's because of slander. I just think people are so ignorant that they don't want to believe factual evidence that I have. It'd be one thing if I was losing constantly in the game and I was making excuses constantly for the fact that I couldn't win it at all in the game. And then I didn't have anything to back up my claims. It's the opposite. I've won far more in Dragon Ball FighterZ than I've lost. Okay, I have a winning record. And I have factual evidence of all the server drops, the lag, and the issues I've had. But people just don't want to believe the facts in front of their eyes because they're fucking fanboys. They're so caught up in hype over all the positive streamers who only kiss the game's butt because they want to make money that they don't want to believe someone who's actually being honest with them. And that's sad. It's sad that when you have it in your face, in your fucking face, evidence of something, that you would rather ignore it and live in ignorance to stay with the hype and the positivity of false bullshit because you want to live as an ignorant person. I'm sorry. That's bad. You can't go through life being ignorant. They say ignorance is bliss. I guess it is. But you can't go through life like that, man. You can't. You're seriously not going to get anywhere in life when you're just seriously ignoring facts in front of your face. You know? I mean, I don't know what else to say. You don't go through life being a cow chewing your cud. Don't go through life being a sheep being led by your fucking ears, or a parrot who just repeats what everyone else says. Have independent thought. Think for yourself. When you have something that maybe is evidence of something that's not common opinion in front of you, check it out and see if it's true. Because the bottom line is, a lot of the times you're going to find a lot of people have been being dishonest with you, and that's why things seem to be the way they are. I'm sorry. I've just always been of that mentality of think for yourself. Okay. Now, for those who have contributed during the course of today's stream, here we go. We've got Lady Morag, who did a 50-bit cheer. Thank you, Lady Morag, for getting stuff started today. I appreciate that. In fact, you are the cheerleader right now for today's stream. Shout out to Elivisaurus Rex, who did a 25-bit cheer and said, what tips do you have to find a job in the finance industry out of college? I'm going to be graduating with a finance degree, so just wanted to get your thoughts. Well, the thing is, I graduated in 2004. It's now 2018. It's 14 years later. All right. So that being said, I'm not sure if any evidence that I could give you guys at this point would apply to the modern world. You know, I'm 14 years in the past here. All right. But what I could tell you, in regards to when I graduated, was that sadly it was not a very good situation for the common person just getting a degree. In fact, the vast majority of people who were graduating from my university, in particular in the finance field, the only people who were getting good jobs out of college were people who had, number one, either already had friends, relatives, or family connections to people in the finance industry. So it was very much nepotism. Oh, you're the son of my coworker? Well, you're going to get a job at the bank. Oh, well, you know, you're one of the big people who we know who, you know, from this group of people who get jobs at this finance firm. Well, you'll be the next person to start, you know. It really was, who do you know? That's really what it was about. Or the flip side of that, all right, was that they were looking for people out of college who already had experience. Now, to me, this makes no fucking sense whatsoever. I just went to university for 4 years to learn how to do this job, but now you want me to have on-the-job experience to get the starting entry-level job. How does that make any sense? How could I possibly have job experience in a job that's an entry-level job? It doesn't even make sense. You know what I mean? How do you learn to be a store clerk before you work at the store where you're the clerk? It doesn't, it makes zero sense, nonsense. So what I found out, okay, after doing some research, is that what a lot of these new financial, well, back then, keep in mind, this was 14 years ago. Excuse me, 14 years ago. These firms wanted you to do internships while you were in college going to school. Now, sadly, internships are unpaid. There's very rare where you're going to find an internship where you actually make money, okay? So these internships, in some ways, are like full-time jobs. Anywhere from 20 to 40 hours a week, unpaid work at a financial firm to get your experience so that when you finally graduate, you can get your entry-level job. Problem is, a lot of people in this day and age have to take out student loans to even afford to go to university, and you actually have to work to pay those fucking loans. That was my situation. During my entire time that I was in college, I had to work a job. So whenever I wasn't at school, I was at work. That was my life. It was university during the day, work at night, or on the weekends, full-time working. And then every once in a while, maybe like one day a week, I'd have an opportunity to have free time, whether to spend it with my family or to go out with my friends. A lot of the time back then I was into competitive Street Fighter, so maybe I would travel, to go to a tournament or something. And that was my life. University, work, and maybe a little bit of free time once a week. So I don't know where in my life I was supposed to have time to do a 20 to 40 hour unpaid internship during the week. And the bottom line is, folks, it's for the rich. If I were rich, if my family had enough money to pay my way through college and I didn't need financial aid and I didn't need to work to pay off these student loans, I would have had free time during the week to do these amazing internships. So if you can believe it, yes, it's a system rigged where only the rich get the best jobs. It's true. It's already set up for those who are the hardest workers can't actually succeed because you're busting your ass just to pay off your fucking debt. You can't even do the unpaid internship to get the experience to get the entry-level job. So what happened to me was I graduated. I literally had a worthless document, a finance degree that I could have wiped my ass with, and I had no on-the-job experience. No one wanted to hire me. So what ended up happening was I got a job at a place called Wells Fargo Financial. And you would think, oh, Wells Fargo Financial, that sounds like a financial firm. Oh, no, actually what it was a branch of Wells Fargo Bank that was a predatory lender. They don't exist anymore, by the way. They went out of business because of unfair business practices. What they would do is they would get the leads of people who had terrible credit, people who were in horrendous life situations. They had so much debt that they couldn't pay it off ever. And what they would do is they would do insanely high loan-to-value loans on homes. Now, when I worked there, 2004, this was at the height of the real estate boom. Okay, where real estate values were sky high and they weren't going to stay that way for a while. But what they would do is, I will lend you 95% of the value of your house so we could consolidate all of your credit card debt and all of your bad debt into your mortgage. All right, really bad. And we would do it, by the way, at a really high interest rate, like way higher than what you would want on a mortgage. But it was the only way for these people to get out of debt and to consolidate their payments so they could actually afford them so that they wouldn't basically go into bankruptcy. Okay, then what would happen? Well, within 5 years, the home values would plummet. So these people would owe way more on the house than what the house was worth. Oh, by the way, these people were already bad with their finances anyway. So they just go right back to where they were at square one. And now they lose their house because they couldn't pay their mortgage anymore. Wow, isn't that nice? And that's what the job was. So that's what I mean. This is what I ended up doing for a year after college because I couldn't get a job in the finance field. And then since then, I've just never held a job in the finance field. That's my life experience. So, Iliviosaurus Rex, what I would say is hopefully it's all about who you know. Hopefully you know someone in the industry. If you don't, do whatever you can right now to start kissing ass, schmoozing, and doing internships if you can. Because it was so ridiculous in 2004 when I graduated. Have full experience of the job before we hire you for the job. I mean, how the fuck do you do that? Sorry, I'm not filthy rich. I can't pay my way through college. I need financial aid. So, I had to work to pay off those loans. I couldn't do the internships and I couldn't get the experience I needed. And I've literally not done a damned thing with my finance degree ever. It's a wasted piece of paper. And in my opinion, a wasted 4 years of my life and a waste of a ton of money. So there you go. Arctic Service did a 25-bit cheer and said, more San Andreas, baby. More San Andreas. Anonysaurus Rex says, you're a content creator, so it's imperative to create content people want to see. People would really be hyped to see you return to UFC 3 online. No, they wouldn't. People don't want to see UFC 3 online. What they want to see is me rage. So I'm not doing it. They want to see me fail and rage and get upset because the game didn't teach you how to actually play it online. It just taught you how to play this watered down version of the game for the campaign, which is what I did. No, I'm not going to waste my time with a stupid fucking game that honestly most people wanted to see me skip anyway, but I crammed it in because my schedule had been all screwed up because I was sick. And, no, I'm not wasting any more time on UFC 3. Sorry. Mr. Papavera did a cheer and said, I would like to see people talking trash to try to get into an arcade cabinet match. I guess he's talking about Dragon Ball Fighters. Ballsy Fred cheered and said, how on earth did you pull out that combo with 20 frames of delay? That shit was hilarious. Yeah, what he's talking about, I was playing a match yesterday where the game claimed 2 seconds, 2 milliseconds of delay. Or, excuse me, 2 frames of delay. It wasn't milliseconds, it was frames, right? Oh, that's amazing. What a great connection. Literally, as I'm playing, all of a sudden, as I'm, trying to do a combo, the game goes to 20 frames of delay in the middle of my combo. Oh, well, that's fair. But only during my combo does this happen, right? That's what I mean. People kiss this game. Oh, but it says 2 frames of delay. That doesn't mean shit, dude. It doesn't mean anything. That 2 frames of delay, first of all, not even possible. Because in a fighting game, if you guys don't know anything about netcode, in a fighting game, 2 sides of the game could have 2 completely different experiences. One guy could be having massive lag while the other guy has none. In this game, by the way, Dragon Ball Fighters, it's been proven the game desyncs. So you can have one person seeing one thing on the screen, another person sees another. There's no way that those millisecond or those frame delay readings are correct. It's complete horseshit. So Arxis did that to make it seem like their game was better than everyone else's, when in reality, all it was another trick to make you think their version of the netcode was better than every other game, when in reality, it's just as fucking bad. So don't be fooled by the bullshit. Timby Timms did a cheer. He says, Phil, please don't change. Most streamers hype up gameplay for views and revenue. It's good to see someone not just giving positive feedback to a broken element of a game, unlike other popular streamers. Well, thank you, Timby Timms. Critical for Days says, will there be a chance where your girlfriend does commentary with you in the future? Yes. I'm not going to say 100% if and when. All right. Obviously, when we do it, what we'd like to do is have it be something special. Maybe a game that lends itself to co-op, in a big way. And or where commentary could be, pretty useful. I have an idea or two of what it could be, but I don't want to promise you something that we're not going to come through on yet. All right. Especially because what you guys got to understand is we're currently in the process of getting Kat her license, getting her car insurance, and she's going to start her new job soon. So once all that's going, then once she has a schedule and everything set, then we can say, oh, okay, now we can say, oh, here's what we're going to do with co-op or whatever. But can't commit to something until we get everything done, and we're far from having everything, set here. So will there be more information? Absolutely, but we don't have it for you yet, okay? Sidella cheered and said some people just can't handle the truth. And you know what? It's true. Some people, again, they want to live in a fantasy world with their fingers in their ears saying neener, neener, neener. They don't want to listen to facts. They just want to live in this happy-go-lucky, sparkles and rainbows world where everything's so positive and happy. They want to go to a streamer who's literally eating fucking frosted cupcakes and the game is great and kissing everyone's ass and massive positivity, and they don't want to hear the truth. Some people want to live ignorant. Oh well, I can't help those people. I don't know what else to say. Kekin says, I'm annoyed because Arxis has made a statement saying that we're going to change Guilty Gear to be simpler, which annoys me because I think its design is the antithesis of simplicity. Fun is in its complexity. Well, you know what? You're right. Guilty Gear has been one of the most complex fighting game engines ever in the history, in the absolute history of fighting games. In fact, I'll be honest with you guys. One of the reasons I never got into Guilty Gear is because it was so complex. When Guilty Gear first started, I wasn't interested in it. And then I'd say probably about maybe, I don't know, the era of when I was playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Third Strike, and those games were starting to get boring. I was interested in maybe jumping into Guilty Gear, and I tried to learn it, and I learned the very basics. I learned like Potemkin, I learned Soul Bad Guy. I was learning some very basics with certain characters. But the game was so complex. There were jump cancels and, just frames and fucking burst reversals and this and that. And the engine is very, very complex. Now, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying there's a really big learning curve to just jumping into Guilty Gear that honestly, I never really stood a chance. I was playing people who had been Guilty Gear players since the start, and I had no chance. They were just whooping my ass. I didn't really have a chance to fight these guys because they knew all the nuances of the engine and they were able to just counter whatever I did and whoop my ass. And so I never really got into it. And, Guilty Gear laws itself as a series where that's what it's been known for. Now, Guilty Gear is saying they're going to water the series down because they want to get more people to buy their games, right? So there you go. Once again, just like Street Fighter, Street Fighter was of the same mentality until Street Fighter 4, when they decided to dumb down the controls and dumb it down for the masses. And ever since then, Street Fighter's been on a downward spiral. The actual skill level and the level of gameplay in the game is so fucking basic and made for noobs now that people who used to play Street Fighter hardcore have pretty much said, fuck this, we're not playing, we're done with this. And they've hung up their mantles and they don't play anymore, It's funny how many new players you now have as the top players in these games, when the guys who literally loved these games back in the 90s and 2000s just can't even stomach them anymore. So, all right, Max Clark, 26 Cheese, says, I'm very depressed. Sean was talking to me yesterday. He changed his name to Loving... I don't know what you're talking about. You got some personal shit going on. I don't know what you're talking about, but thank you for the cheer. Frugels did a 100-bit cheer. It says 9/11 was an inside job. How exciting. Shao Kahn Artist did a 300-bit cheer to become today's cheerleader and said, Grove Street Hype. Anonysaurus Rex cheered and said, I'm going to work for a Dubai millionaire in the finance market soon. Any tips for when I'm in the field? Yeah, kiss his ass. And, make a lot of money. I don't know what else to say. Mr. Papa Vera did a cheer. He says, Grove Street for life. Rink Dude did a 235-bit cheer. He says, how are you doing, Phil? I'm doing good, but my voice is hoarse today. I'm actually debating going to Papa Mucinex because my voice already, I haven't even started yet, and my voice is hoarse today. I'm not sure if it's because the temperatures have dropped here, and so because they've dropped, my heat has been on more. I think that's what it is. Like, the heat is on more now overnight, so it's harassing my voice or whatever. But I woke up today all gunked up, and now my voice already is like bleh. So I think actually I'm gonna, right after this pre-stream, I'm gonna go pop a Mucinex before I start with gameplay. Outside of that, I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to a fun day full of new game streaming. So, Coverus just did a cheer and says, time to ranch it up. Legalize ranch. The 311 never happened. I don't know what anyone's talking about anymore. Okay. Max Clark says, you don't care if I got yellow fever or foot fungus. Okay, Max. Sudella did a 50-bit cheer and says, how was the yummy coffee? It was pretty good. Although I'll be honest, we got it at the supermarket this week. We were like, let's get some coffee that we can try, in the morning. And since I had a cup of coffee, I'm not drinking an energy drink right now. I'm actually just having a seltzer water and a bottle of regular water. Because, if you guys aren't aware, a cup of coffee actually has more caffeine in it than any energy drink. So just having a normal cup of coffee is actually, better for you, honestly, than those sugary energy drinks that make you crash. But it was supposed to be some, hazelnut flavor. And I had it, I was like, it just tastes like black coffee to me. I don't taste hazelnut at all. But I'm okay. I drink coffee black usually. The only time I don't is if I'm out getting, a Frappuccino or something. But if I'm just going to drink coffee, I usually just drink it black. So, it was pretty good. A good shot of caffeine for the day. Captain Caveman did a 100-bit cheer and says, humans are the AI that follow their money program. The Illuminati. Oh, boy. BattleDuck 9000 did a 100-bit cheer. He said, true story, I bailed on my third-year study of business studies about 2 years before the economy took a dive, and I switched to computer science. Yeah, it kind of sucks that, in its current state, especially in the United States of America, the whole university structure is really set up as a money-making venture compared to a venture to actually prepare you to get a job. That's the God's honest truth. These colleges / universities care much more about taking in your tuition than you actually getting a valid education and getting a job out of the university. They just don't give a fuck. It's become such a almost a production line. First you go to elementary school, then you go to high school, then you go to university, then you get thrown to the fucking wolves. And it's like, by the way, when you get thrown to the wolves and probably don't get a good job out of university or college, you're then left with thousands of dollars of debt because you had to finance your education because you couldn't afford it because it was so expensive. So not only do you get a crappy job right out of college, now you can't even pay back the debt that you have. What a lot of people end up doing is deferring their debt years and years. They have these new government programs where you can defer your college loans for years where you don't have to pay them because you don't have enough money to pay them. Ridiculous, right? You should think they should have a system set up so actually you're actually spending all this money to get your education. You can actually get a fucking job to then pay for that education. We don't even have that. Our system is completely broken for a capitalist society just for these cocksuckers to make money. It's ridiculous. All right. Anyway, Mr. Papavera Charity says, would you do any Easter eggs in the game? I could name off 8 of them. Well, if they were readily and easily able to do without, spoiling too much of the game and or, being something that's going to take me hours to do, yeah, I would consider doing them. So if you want to see Easter eggs, let me know about them. Critical for Days cheered and said, Phil, you're going to laugh your ass off after seeing this. Apparently someone accusing you from the fighting game community, and I quote, DSP was blacklisted because he whipped out a knife on someone at Evo on multiple occasions, and he's a shithead overall. That's why he's banned. Wow. Well, let's see. Let's attack this from all directions. All right. Number one, I'm not banned from Evo. I'm not banned from Evo. In fact, I'm not banned from any tournament. At least if I am, I've never been notified that I was. So, to my knowledge, I've not banned from anything. That's number one, okay? Number two, no, I've never pulled a knife on anyone. In fact, I've never owned a concealed weapon like that I would take out with me into the real world and, whip out on someone. That's completely false. No, I didn't do it on multiple occasions. This guy is a complete idiot. Whoever this is a complete fucking moron and is 100% wrong. Now, he could either be completely misinformed and he's just stupid, saying stuff like that publicly, or maybe he's just trying to slander me. I don't know. Either way, he's a complete idiot. So, that's why you got to be careful, the kind of morons who you watch. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, you definitely want to go to this moron stream where he's going to say stupid shit about stuff like that he has no idea what he's talking about, talking out of his colon directly, his rectum face, saying stupid shit on a stream. Wow, that's who I want to hang out with, someone who just makes shit up and has no idea what the fuck they're talking about. What a dumb fuck. All right. Anonysaurus Rex cheered and said, God bless yellow fever. Okay. Cover's cheered and said, what's the most amount of money you've won on a lottery ticket or scratch card? Not much. I actually think the most I've ever made on a scratch-off ticket, probably like maybe $75 or something like that. I'm honestly trying to remember. I remember there was once I was at the mall with my friend and we were just hanging out. And I was like, man, I'm just going to spend $5. And I ended up spending $5 and I won like 20. So then I spent like 20 and I won like 70 or 80 or something like that. And of course, then I'm an idiot. Instead of just stopping, I said, oh, I'm going to keep spending. And of course, I blew all my money and lost it all. So there you go. Okay. Shout out to Anonysaurus. He cheered and said, serious San Andreas tip. Eat the most expensive burgers and then hit the gym to increase your health and stamina. You'll live longer. Olivisaurus Rex cheered and said, if a college ever asked you to come speak to students about running an online business, would you do it? Also, I think it's funny but sad that colleges still claim to be non-profit. Oh, they're definitely not non-profit. That's happy horseshit right there. But that being said, if anything, let me put it this way. Would I do a speak or seminar or a speech about running a successful online business? No, but what I could do is do a very informative speech on, trolling, the negative aspect of social media, and being careful about what you share on the internet. Because, boy, can I tell horror stories. Boy, can I really give you the ins and outs of my experiences over the years that I've had with, having an online presence and the horrible things that have happened as a result of me sharing too much information. And I could definitely probably help people to understand the seriousness of having this online presence in the modern era and what to do and what not to do. I'm pretty much sure I could write the book on that. Okay. Ballsy Fred did a 25-bit cheer and says, the school system is a complete scam in the U.S. I dropped out with only $10,000 in debt. Oh, only $10,000 in debt. Wow. You got off lucky, I guess. Lilu Corbin, Fifth Element. Haven't seen you in a while, sir. He's here. He just did a $10 tip. He says, Phil, sorry I haven't been around. Been really busy with work. I apologize for not being here, but hope things are going well and fantastic to see your girlfriend has moved in. Yeah. The past week's been awesome. In fact, today, right now, is the 1 week anniversary of when she moved in. It was last Monday. And it's been great. I cannot lie. It's been really amazing. So thank you for the tip. Awesome. You're obviously the biggest tip I got today. You're the only tip I got today. So thank you for that. Good to see you back. Hopefully you enjoyed today's stream. And Resident Evil Beating cheered and said Activision will release a remake of Spyro the Dragon trilogy like they did with Crash Bandicoot this year. Will you play Spyro 2 and 3 when the remake comes out? Sure. If there's a desire to see me play them, why not? People really seem to like my Spyro 1 playthrough, so I have nothing against playing Spyro 2 or 3. I actually really enjoyed playing Spyro 1. So the answer is yes. And Max Clark did another cheer with another nonsensical message I'm not going to read. There you go. All right, folks. I guess that's it for the pre-stream. Thank you very much for your support today on the pre-stream. It is now time to begin with San Andreas. Roughly about 4 hours of gameplay here. We'll take a break at some point, but roughly about 4 hours. All right, and hold on. Battle Duck 9000 did 100-bit cheer. He says UFC. Don't forget about your secret UFC career. You can hold lectures at universities about that too. And Coral Guy just did a 25-bit cheer. He said, "Oh, I almost didn't make it, but we're good now, Phil. I'm here." Somehow every day, Coral Guy has been showing up last minute, right before the stream starts, and says, "Oh, okay, you can start now." And he continues the pattern. That's pretty funny. Oh, Kevin6651 just did a 500-bit cheer to become today's cheerleader and says, "Hi, Phil, fuck the trolls." Thank you very much, Kevin, for that contribution. You are now the cheerleader for today. And, of course, Lilu Corbin is the tip leader with the $10 tip. So, all right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. That's it. Let's begin with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, baby. Oh, yeah, some of that loving CJ action coming for you right now on the stream. We know you love CJ, brother. All right, that was pretty creepy. And again, shout out to Lilu Corbin, who just resubscribed for the second month in the row on stream. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. Let's get started. Thanks, everyone. Here we go.